Okay, it's a new year. I got a little bit of copper wire here. I don't have a lot of wire, but say, I guess probably 20 pounds of total weight. So I would like to wish everybody a Happy New Year 2021. And that's the last time I'm going to say it, last time I'm going to write it. So Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for all the wishes and comments of all of last year and all that. So what I'm going to do is going to strip this wire. I just want to show you this. This is what I bought also from Canadian Tire. A little socket set, some little different, like bigger sockets. And then I also bought another screwdriver set. So I have two screwdriver sets like the one I showed you. It's actually this one here. So I have two sets like this now. One here. I like to have one personal one and one in my storage yard. These are so far the boards. I have 3 containers. This one here. Yep. These are off the radios here. 3 containers already of boards. That's all the radios I have left. Plus I have 3 unique radios that I may strip on video just because they're different than these. They're a different technology. Maybe a little more interesting. Who knows? These are all clean. And I have some more inside the house. But these aren't so light, or not so heavy, but these seem to be heavier. This little chunk is heavier than this. It's got more extruded heating on it, like heating fins and all that. It's still cast, but that piece seems heavier than that piece, believe it or not. Even though it's twice the size. So new year. I got a lot of new things planned to do. Anyways, until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do, we'll know, but figure get these cleaned here. Oh, this daughter's motorcycle making noise. Got an alarm system on there. Just a basic one. A little noise maker. Oh, I have aluminum here too, so a little copper. I'm thinking if I can buy a bunch of aluminum wire off maybe like sub-trades, I can actually strip this. Buy it for like 20 cents a pound or something, whatever scrapyards pay. Strip it myself, make a little extra cash. You know what I mean? Especially if they have industrial, lots of cables. There's some more aluminum here too. Maybe I'll strip these actually. So there's not all copper here, so there's gonna be a lot of aluminum here. What do you do? Like just sell it for peanuts, or you get a little more money? You strip yourself, but. Anyways, I'm going to run these through. I'm not sure how it's going to strip. It's cold right now, so we'll see. Okay, so that's my aluminum. See that? You can strip, you know, hundreds of pounds in no time with this stuff. And this stuff is actually, you know, pretty heavy. It's got weight, especially you get the thicker stuff. The stuff that's a little thicker adds up to weight. But try stripping that by hand. That's a really hard plastic on there. Sometimes it's really hard to strip. Try stripping by. You kind of need the right knife with the right blade. Not too sharp kind of thing, but using like a utility knife, like something like this, it's no good. Blade's too sharp and too thin. You need kind of like an old knife. I'm not. There's probably not much here. Maybe a pound or 2 pounds, maybe. But in any event, stripped in seconds, right? I could have lots of this other stuff here. I have to try to separate this. This one here is such a big insulation, but a pretty thin wire. It's like 50% copper. Let's just strip it. I think I have 2 of these. Almost 3. This actually was from a dryer cord. It took a 3-stranded wire like that, which is not a normal wire that we find. 220. So let me try this. See how this goes. These 3. Really crappy wire. Just actually jammed, went right through the roller, double rolled it. That's the problem with these. See, you get a crappy type wire. It's just hard to strip. Anyways, it'd be hard to get it out, but it's I have to loosen the stuff up. So stand by. But you see how things are. Like you get a wire that you're not used to. There's way too much plastic, and it's kind of like oddball shaped versus being totally round. So you can see it's just a stranded. But okay, just let me get it untangled here. Stand by. Okay, I got it out. What happened was there's one roller here is more like it's like pinches it, right? One has cutter blade, so it kind of was stuck on a pinching blade and a cutter blade. So I think I have to go, you know, a couple holes over or something. We'll try it again. Okay, I stripped it, but just gotta have the right setting. But you can see it's a bit of a pain, but that's why I like to get a different stripper that's a little slower for the oddball wire. Because this wire, like I say, it should be a different, should be a little cut a little slower. It won't jam up like that, right? It's almost stripped, but it's just once it chews this wire up, it kind of wrecks it. So don't know why this thing's kind of noisy, this machine, but it's kind of what it is. Okay, we're gonna go for this one. Let's just find the right setting. Okay, so, you know, this is a little finicky, as you can see. Kind of screwed the setting up a bit, but kind of actually burnt this one a bit, so it's not really bright and shiny. So this one I'll just throw in the number 2. But it could have been overheated wire from the electrical. Might not be the machine, because these look okay. Bright and shiny last time was $4.09, so it's a pretty good price. What kind of wire this is? It's kind of let's strip the outer layer. It's kind of like a cloth layer. Has to be run twice. It could have went off the roller a bit too. This is a weird looking wire. This one won't look in. I'll keep the bright shiny separate for now. This is top dollar. It's like 12 gauge out of stoves. 12 gauge is nice. But sometimes if I don't have a lot of material, I'll just mix it with number 2. Because I don't get a lot of wire all the time, but when I do get it, like thick wire like this, it's not so bad. This one I'll have to run through again. Yeah, new year, gotta do new things. Yeah, I'm really debating about getting another yard. Whole new yard. So I'm too limited on what I can do in that yard, to be honest. I don't have the power that I need. I need at least 220 power, and I need high amperage power for the stuff I want to do there. See, this one's just not that great. So 3 got to be rerun. But like I say, It's important, like, you know, like this space here, if I can reorganize it better. But I'm still limited here, what I want to do. As you can see, some wire just doesn't want to strip that great. It's just because it's kind of how it is. If it gets crimped up a certain way, then it just doesn't want to recover. Another 12 gauge. 12 gauge here. But if I'm doing the same wire, after a while you know the right settings and it's not so bad. But right now I have a bucket full of so many different wires. I have a lot of this stuff here. This should strip pretty easy. This will be bright and shiny too. So I'll have to look at exactly how much bright and shiny I have. Cut this in half. So I saved this stuff here just because it's strippable. I mean, it's only 14 gauge, but I sold so much 14 gauge already, and then they lowered the price a little bit, so I thought maybe it's better to start stripping some more again if I have small amounts. I'm on top of my, you know, always on top of my wire. Like I don't have a lot here, but I'm stripping it, so then at least it's not going to accumulate to like buckets and buckets of wire. And I can keep stripping it even if it's 14 gauge. Because that 14 gauge, 100 pounds would have been maybe a $30 difference. Now it's more like $60, $65. Right? Must have been a big demand for it at the time. And they had a good order going. They needed to pay a little more. That's kind of what scrapyard is, supply and demand, right? If they all of a sudden they need 100 tons of wire insulated, or anything, 100 tons of copper, well, you'll take insulated wire, take whatever it takes You know, copper's copper after it's, you know, they're thrown into big granulating machines. The copper's separated, you know, 2 to 5 tons an hour on some of the bigger machines, right? So, you know, this percentage is right. They're making 10% on their money. Doesn't seem like very much, but you're doing $10,000 a day. You know, it starts adding up, you know. But they probably make more. They probably make more like 25% on average. Or maybe more. Depends on what the product is and how cheap they can get it for. Okay, we'll get the 212 gauges done. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, we got some bright shiny here. Yeah, that's the second conductor of the Romex, that's why it's not stripped. Like these smaller wires, just no problem, it just spits it out like nothing, which is nice. The other oddball wires, you get jams and stuff. Okay, these have to be redone. So I had 2 Romexes in there, that's why. So you have to keep the bright and shiny separate because just a big difference in price. It was, well, number 1, the bright and shiny, I'm not sure. Number 2 was $3.75 before, so number 1 and bright and shiny could only be like 20 cents difference or less. It's Romex. You've seen it go through pretty quick, huh? Not too bad. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this up here and then get set up for that one. I don't want to kill my battery too fast because there's so much of little small stuff in here, like this other grade I put in here. See, this is the other grade. See how it flattened it out? It's tinned. So, I mean, stripped it okay, but it's flattened it out. See that? So it'll take a little more patience for that one. I'll rerun that one, strip that. But that other one here, once I get the right setting, there's a couple diameters in there. It might be a little tougher, but we'll see. Okay. Okay, I'm down to dryer cords, stove cords. It's my bright and shiny over there. My number 2. I think I had this one here. May have to go through again, maybe or something, but I'll finish this off, but then I'll throw those in next. have a feeling some didn't go through too good. Just the way this type of wire is. Too many different diameters. Hard to judge the right hole, but anyways. It's got water inside this one. It's got water. It's a little harder to strip right now, but that didn't wreck up the inside layer, which is good. Because when you wreck the inside layer, then you got problems. It's weird, like it's just like missed it completely. This one I can go again. Yeah, same diameter, missed it. It's like Christmas wire. Look at the Christmas colors. Sometimes you get wires, they're like German flag colors. It's weird. He's kind of stripped it, but not 100%. You stripped most of it. As long as I get more than half of it, then I could slide it through from this side and that side. That's all stripped. Okay, I'm going to just unravel all these and then get them ready. Put these two back through. For some reason, I didn't want to go through. Let's see if that was any better. At least I just destroy the inside too bad. At least destroy the inside layer, then you get problems. It's just double rails, it cuts the inside wires, it's a real big pain. So, I'm just gonna show you what I gotta do exactly, just so you know what has to be done. What I'm doing is I have to unravel all this, right? I'm gonna just separate this wire here. And I'll just lay them out like this. You know, have like a little handful of wires, and I can just feed them through like that. You've seen it before in my videos, but I'm constantly getting new subscribers, and people ask me questions, and at least if you see it and you understand, you'll know, right? I'm not going to have a lot of money here in copper, but all it's doing is kind of lessening my load. Otherwise, what will happen, like I say, I'll get lazy and I'll sell the stuff as insulated. Like this stuff I sold as insulated at 140 pounds, but they gave me $1.29 a pound, which is not, if you do the math, it's really not enough, because you get quite a bit more money stripping it, because there's actually a lot of copper here. You know, it's like a horsehair material, but it's still, weight wise, it's quite a bit of copper, especially these really long ones here. You get one that's already clean. Okay, let me unravel it, then I'll feed it through and we'll see the next process. Okay. Okay, so I'll have the scrap like this, one hand. Reverse this here. See, you constantly see me turning the wires around or straightening them out because it has to be fairly straight and it can't have any copper showing because it's biting the insulation first. Otherwise, it hits the copper, derails. This is probably, I don't know, 15 pounds here. Pretty heavy, I would think. Okay. You can see I'm fighting some of this, trying to get in there because it's really oily. It's like pure grease, my hands. And what it is slipping. You know, it's not really catching the roller, it's slipping. That's the problem with this stuff. That's why it's kind of hard to strip this. A lot of guys don't want to strip this. I missed one, I guess. I just wonder how it acts when you're granulating the stuff. If it's even tougher. Like it's pure oil. Could be just the plastic breaking down. Who knows, right? But next process is to my hands just totally slippery. So usually I have to do it in a bucket. I can't do it in the ground because there's too many little strands come off. See as I'm pulling it, the strands are separating. It's really poor quality stuff. That's why when that's why they're paying less, because when they put this in the fire, what happens is you lose more percentages because the wire is so thin, right? Versus if you have thick wire, like #1 wire, when it burns, it stays pretty close to its weight. There's probably a lot of loss in this one. See, this is a different kind of quality wire. See, it sticks better, but it's got slivers. I can feel it in my gloves once in a while. But I'm still kind of grateful I can still strip these, because I had a little bit of worry at the start. When I first used the machine, it was a nightmare. But I kind of got the settings down a little bit better now. Not saying they're 100% perfect, but in the event you can see, you know, stuff is stripping. Even though this one looks like it's all chewed apart. But this is due to because when I stripped the first insulation, it cut into this. That's why it kind of derailed a little bit, or, you know, that's why it doesn't cut 100% perfect. But if the first layer is perfect, you don't cut into it, it works out perfectly. This one I might have to do a repass. Find my cutter. This is because I can see the cuts. See how there's a cut here? There's a cut here. See that? This is from when I went through the wire. When I first did a couple wires at the start. I think what they did is just cut into this layer. But that's okay. You get the odd one that's a bad wire. Like some wire, like this one looks pretty good. Some wires actually cut really nice. So I'm actually thinking about getting like a different location, maybe selling that house and then getting a better location, just because I'm just too limited there. If I have a better location, I can drop my bins on the ground, have bins directly. I can buy more bins and have one for HMS, one for tin, one for garbage. I can have another bin that has a lift on there, so I can, if I want to pick up stuff, I use a truck and lift stuff up. You know. That truck is actually pretty good, drives everywhere. There's nowhere I couldn't drive with that truck. It's that good for steering and maneuverability in alleys and stuff. I went to the tightest alleys, no problem. That truck works really good. So for me to get a bin, another bin and a lift, you're looking at probably about 11,000. So they're not cheap. But I would get maybe a flat deck type, right, with flat deck sides. I don't like the curves like this. They lose space each side. So that's kind of things I like to do in the future, right? Just takes time and money. See, our real estate's way too expensive. You know, you can go places, buy decent properties for $200,000-300,000 in the states that are really decent. You can do so much, but $200,000 or $300,000 takes you to Hope, tiny little house in Hope. You know, and what can you do in a property like that? It's not much. Ideally, I wouldn't mind maybe even opening a little scrapyard and just buying, you know, not tin. Tin is, or you know, scrapping tin for myself and buying the odd load, but mostly focusing on the better metals, like dirty metals, where you can actually make a bit of money if you clean it, right? That's where the money is. If you buy copper clean, well, you're only making a small percentage, right? If you buy copper dirty, you might make 40%, right? Hard to say. Depends. Well, you can get like big industrial cables, you know, cable that long could be like close to a pound, you know, stripped. So you get stuff like that. I mean, sure, it's expensive at the start to buy it, but once you strip it, you cash in right away, right? You don't sit on the stuff. That's why these big businesses, when they put a lot of money out, they have to sell the stuff right away. It's, you know, bagged and tagged basically, right? They don't fool around because, you know, overhead kills you. Labor, wages, everything else that goes with the fuel. But you know, working on a small scale, it's what I enjoy, right? If you enjoy what you're doing, it's not work, it's just fun, right? Like this, sure, I'm sitting here working here, but it's not like I'm working, it's actually having fun. It gives me a change. Like when I did all those cop radios, it was a whole new different thing to do, which made it kind of fun. But I have 3 different radios. I might strip them because they're 3 different stuff is sharp, I'll tell you. See, some of it just doesn't want to come out. It's actually like melted into it. So then when you know, you get little hairs that stick out that prick you, it turns into like a porcupine. See how this one's giving me a pain? It's stripped properly. All of this is what it is. It's stuck to the actual plastic. See, you're even losing a little bit here, but what you can do. But as soon as I'm done, I'll sweep everything up really good. I'll throw this stuff away in the garbage, basically. Keep it clean. But if I go through here, like I have CDs here, what I do, throw them in the garbage. I mean, I'm sure I could sell them for 50 cents to $1, and someone would be happy to see a movie for 50 cents or $1, right? But so I have to look at options. You know, I have some VHSs I grabbed. They're not really worth much, but I usually try to take the titles that are really unusual titles that are small run films, which are probably hard to find today, right? Small releases, right? More of a low budget type, but still interesting videos. A lot of people like those. So even though it's a VHS, still some videos have a value. So, but anyways, this organization, if I could, like every shelf was pretty full there, right? If you look, I got my e-waste up here, boards and stuff, motherboards, CPUs, not motherboards, I mean slot cards and so on, Goldfinger cards. I don't keep any motherboards here, there's no point. I put a few up there on my shelf. You know, just a variety, just to give it a little kind of look. But yeah, if I could advance to a bigger property, or sell both locations and then get a decent property, but that puts me out of town to get something good. Look at a couple $1 million, but you know, it's a little more driving, more headaches, to be honest. But I like this area. I've been here for over 20 years now, and you know, we never thought of going to Syria. I remember the old days when we were young. We used to, you know, go party and stuff. They go, you never go to Syria. It's dangerous. Whereas the people get into fights all the time down here. It was whole new ballpark compared to Vancouver. But you know, I've been here for 20 years and I like it. I enjoy it. You know, you get your first house and you're just happy to be here, right? So got a beautiful view, $1 million view basically. Can't get a better view than this, above the river. But like I say, trying to get the right property. Eventually I will. You know, you put your mind to something, right? You know, you have a goal to look forward to, right? If you don't have a goal, you're never going to succeed anywhere, right? Always have a goal. You know, like this goal this year, like I say, you know, key thing is my wife's health. Once she gets better and all that, and things get better for her, then we can do a lot more. Because right now she hasn't been doing anything for. Well, she works around the house, but she can't do anything physical right now. Sharp. But anyways, like I say, that's kind of life. Life goes on, I guess. But oh, I can't believe it. See, these gloves, I like them because I can maneuver my fingers really good. You know, you have actually, you know, it's feelings, but you get a hard, thick glove, you know, it's too tight. You have no actual feel to what you're doing, especially working with tools. Anyways, I'm going to finish this off here, sweep this up, show you what I got, show you how much plastic I got out of all this mess here. I have no scale here that's working. This one's not working there, so it's not a lot here. Maybe 10 pounds of copper. I'm thinking nothing special, but in any event, it's another thing. Progress. It's more progress, right? Since the new calendar year, I could now it doesn't matter how much scrap I take in there, right? I mean, it's new year, new tax year. That's how I look at it, right? So if my goal is trying to make as much as last year or more, you know, whatever it is. Try to process what I got. Okay, we're done. Number 2 copper here, and then we have insulated wire, or insulated. I mean insulation. I didn't have a cutter here, so I just left this here. I have 2 more cords in the car. That's my aluminum. It's all aluminum. This is my number one, bright and shiny. Number 1 bright and shiny. And this is my waste. It's a good chunk of waste here. See, this is dead money. That's not worth nothing. Not for us. When you get it granulating, and those big companies, they can sell that stuff because they get tons and tons of the material. But for me, I can't do nothing with it. Probably goes just basically in the garbage, if you know what I mean. So that's it. Stripped everything out. Happy about that. Now this is the good aluminum here. I can throw them in aluminum. Right now, 61 cents a pound, so which is pretty good. I took something that's worth 20 cents a pound. It could be 30 cents, I don't know exactly, but double my money. Well, almost, because insulation is cost. Takes weight off, right? So, but in any event, it's worth 61 cents versus 20 or 30, whatever it is. Number 2, last time was 374. Number 1 bright and shiny was 409 last time. And 61 for aluminum. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like my content, Happy New Year all to you. All the best wishes to everybody in 2021. Have a great day. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.